Good afternoon, and once again, welcome to TechGist
All
with
right.
IJ. And this is a section where we like to learn from you, and at the same time, grow grow with what grow with the knowledge you have, and also you learn from us. So we'll start. Uh, we start our first question with what? Can you tell us about yourself, your name? Can you hear me? Hello. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear
Okay.
you.
So please, can you tell us about yourself, your name,
Yes, I can.
your field, and what you do?
Right. As you already know, I'm Imam Abubakar, and I'm a tech founder and also an entrepreneur outside of tech. And yeah, basically, that's who I am. That's what I do. And before that, I used to be a senior software engineer. I've worked in multiple different industries and worked on multiple different projects as well. I'm still working on projects as for right now, but I do less coding and more planning, more team building, more team management, and just marketing. I just picked up marketing as a thing recently because found it's very important. And yeah, I think that's just very little about myself.
Oh, well, that's to me that's not little. For you to say all that and say it's little for somebody coming in or
Okay.
somebody already in the field for a while, that's not little because at every step of your career that took a lot of consistency, dedication, and motivation. So, can you tell us about your experience? Is it your experience as a founder you would like to talk about, or your experience and a senior software engineer, or what made you to transit from senior software engineer to say, "Oh, I want to start building my own projects. I want to go into entrepreneurship and I want to go into marketing." What did you see that was lacking in that field that you said, "Oh, I feel like I could make an impact over here"?
Okay, so for that question comes in different phases,
Okay.
and the reason why I say that is because I didn't originally start out when I started in tech. I didn't start out as like generalized software. I started with game, but that didn't really push because the part of the world where I come from, it's not really things that people are really familiar about. And I started at a young age where internet was not really what it is today. But we thank God for technology and advancement. So basically, in terms of how I transitioned from being a software engineer to becoming a founder, I think the main reason, as every other person will tell you, is the need to solve problems. I see things that need solving, and as someone who, I just take people's problems onto myself. Like, let me just take care of this. I figured it just makes sense to, you know, do something about it. And right now, there are lots of things I want to do personally. I think my first brush with owning something and pushing it out there for people to use was starting my first company, Idea Cloud. It's been about 4 years now. I think maybe 2020, 2021. I'm not sure. And it's because I transitioned as a developer. I also did a lot of digital marketing. I started digital marketing 2017. But over the years, I just figured, oh, why can't I just do something about it? And with everything that happened in the during lockdown in 2020, there is a need for social media growth. I think that was around the time where drop shipping came about and a few other really big things, you know. And you know, I said, okay, let me create a social media agency that just helps people acquire leads, acquire connections, build their followings, increase their views online and things like that. So I started with that, and I actually built a software that actually helps with that, helps with the tracking and all of that. That software, I think 1 year later, I sold it for 500,000 in naira, and that was really my first brush. I was quite happy with all of that, and just knowing that something I mean, they really push in terms of marketing because I'm really bad with marketing. Uh, yeah, no, no, no. As at the time, the thing is, I think I have a dilemma. The problem is I know how to build stuff to solve people's problems. I think there's a lot of problem with developers. We build stuff, but knowing how to reach out to the people that actually need those stuff is kind of the problem.
Yeah,
Uh, you
that's
know,
true.
building a great project, a great project will not market itself. You have to push it to people. I'm really bad at that. So, thankfully, a friend of mine, older friend, found potential in the project. I was like, you know what, let me buy this software off your hands. I was like, okay, cool. Uh, you just do that. I will do me. And I think he's transformed it into. I think right now, I'm not going to mention his name. Just
Yeah.
for a disclaimer and all. I think he on that particular project now, he has around. I'm not really tracking it, but on surface level, like on his Instagram, has about 16,000 followers. And with that comes like a lot of customers still using the platform, and also I think it really went well. My mistake from that, which is something for another day, was that probably I should have just made him a co-founder, right, and have him invest in the business instead of
Selling
me
it.
selling it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So big mistake. Not gonna repeat itself. Apparently, I was not too versed about how the whole startup world works. Yeah. So I blame myself for that. But right now, what made me really go into this? Again, I'm an entrepreneur, right? I partner with my family members to like sell stuff, not just like small stuff. I'm talking about importation, supply chain stuff. And there's always a big problem with inventory, stock management, record keeping, sales management records. Yes, there are softwares out there that actually can do this stuff. But the thing is, you need interconnected systems. You need something that just works for Africans. I don't spend all my time in Nigeria, by the way. But the thing is, whenever I'm around, I always spot like new problems, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just discuss with my team. Let's see what we can do. But what really came about it was in 2022, I founded Scale Up Inc. and started with one side project, which is Skill Draft, and it was supposed to target sales records and professional invoice issuing because before we were using Excel to like manage stock inventories and all of that, but that really it doesn't really help, right? And we just needed something that works, that is simple to use, to build the solution for our business, and it works. But I was of the opinion, okay, if this works for me, I mean, I have a few friends that have these issues as well. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me push this to them. Let them use it. Let me get feedback. And they used it and they were like, oh, this is nice. And they recommended it to people. I was like, oh, mind you, you're not supposed to recommend this to people. It's like a private thing. But that kind of gave me an idea, right? That, okay, if someone is willing to advertise,
Yeah.
a product that just works just because it works. They're willing to just tell
Somebody else.
someone about it. Yeah, I'm like, oh, there's really potential in this stuff. And e-commerce in Africa generally has been like this. I'm not gonna dive into that, but it's been like this. And I was like, okay, let's tap into the e-commerce market. Um, so I did a soft launch that here, I think July 2022. And from there on, pivoted into having a studio with Scale Up Inc. and taking on clients' projects. That was a time when 9 to 5 was really pulling me away. You know, because as a senior, because as at then I was a CTO for the most part, and maybe a lead engineer wherever I was working at the time. So I had a lot of free time to like work on other projects. And Nigerians now, working 2 jobs and all.
Yeah.
But then I realized, yeah, I realized, yo, I can't be doing freelance and still be working full time because it makes zero sense. I didn't want to work part time, funding, I mean, you black tax now. There are a lot of people that will bill you and stuff. So and it's like, oh, you know what? I can't stop freelance. I can't stop my full time job. So what I did was, okay, let me bring one person in, then let me bring someone else in, and from there, I was able to like spread the projects among people, people that we've worked together before. Some people knew, and I met them online. I see potential in them. I'm like, okay, let's work together. Okay, I have this project. It's gonna take a month. It's gonna take 2 months. And yeah, I think that was really the thing with Scale Up Inc. It was Scale Up then, not Scale Up Inc. Now it's incorporated, but before it wasn't. So that was where the whole thing started from. And this year we made another bold decision to just be a product first company, stop taking on client projects, for the most part. I mean, I still do have friends that I'm like advising on their projects. You understand?
Yeah.
I like some AI projects because right now I'm fascinated with AI. So
Yeah.
anything AI, bring it on. We're gonna work on it. Yeah. So because the thing is, I'll touch that maybe later. But there's something I want to talk about regarding AI later on. But for the purpose of the question you asked me, I'll just say the transition was really not smooth. I quit my job last year with Huawei. I didn't renew my contract. I didn't outrightly quit. I just didn't renew my contract. So I figured I just want to, find time to focus on this stuff. I'm already like making some bucks with it, with Scale Up. So I'm like, let's just do this full time and see what happens. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, I quit my job to do this full time," and they don't tell us about the downside that comes with it.
Yeah, that
But
that's
yeah, I think yeah,
that's very very true because so
yeah.
many
So
I said when you said it's true, so many new founders they quit their jobs and they go into building their projects and you just see the next thing you see that project grow but you don't know what that founder has to go through because then
yeah,
now
exactly.
the whole like there's no external source, it's now the whole source is now back
Yeah, of
up on
course,
that project, so they have to put all they have
of
into
course.
making that project realistic and usable. I think maybe that's why some projects kill more than the other project because of when you have to
Yeah, of
make like
course.
a very big decision on a project, it affects the I feel like it's gonna affect the number of period or it's going to affect your workforce you put into the project because there's no alternative here, so you have to just give it all your all. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's very very good experience even from the whole journey. Like even when you're talking, it was like if I was following you on a journey and I was able to understand one or two things where you have to like make some big decisions. So my next question is, what would have been your advice for your younger self? Would you have just gone deeper into, there are already some things you already said you regret, like for instance setting up the project instead of seeking for partnership. And so my advice for you, my question now is, what's your advice for your younger self that hasn't is in the period of transitioning into tech and already have this entrepreneurial mindset? So would you have probably just build up a team to build that project and fund it, or would you have still gone through the journey level you did? Would you say your your experience or your yeah your experience as a senior engineer shaping your project building, or would you say it has like zero connection?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Let me say this. My younger self should stay a while. The thing is, okay. The thing is, being a senior engineer and me wanting to build stuff has nothing in common. I mean, for the most part, I don't even actually build some of those things myself. I'm just the idea person. Um, for the most part. So here's what I'll say though. If I were to tell my younger self anything, I would say don't do tech. And there's a reason behind that. I would say don't do tech. Do something else. Being someone that can wake up with lots of ideas of things to do. Me being in tech is a problem for me because now I can't do multiple things at the same. I mean, there are people that can. I just can't. I think over the years I've built this shell around myself where you know there's a limit to what I can do simply because I know how hard it is to do those things. That's a problem. Nowadays, if I want to get ideas from people, I reach out to my friends that are not into tech and I would ask them, oh, what problems are you having? Is there something you're doing in your workplace that you think you can optimize on? Why? Because people that are not really into tech, that don't understand the technicals, they come up with extremely great ideas. I've sat down and talked with a lot of them. You understand? These people have zero business in tech, but regardless, they come up with the best ideas. And you can just take the idea and just work on it. But being a developer, being an engineer, there's always this barrier. I'll be in my head. I'll be like, hmm, I don't think this is doable. Guess what?
Yeah,
Someone in another part of the world
that's true.
is doing that thing. So if I'm to advise my younger self, I would say just go into being an entrepreneur, true and true. I would have also loved to be a marketer, but most especially, I'd have loved to be a movie actor because
Wow.
I'm really fascinated about a lot of things. In fact, growing up, I did a lot of stuff. I once tried my hand at music. I tried my hands at drawing. I tried my hands at again. I'm still a digital marketer, so to speak. A lot of my friends reach out for advice.
Okay.
Um, I dabbled in a lot of stuff, a lot of handyman stuff, even like hardware, things like that. I'm still going back to hardware, by the way, because I'm trying to build this hardware solution thing to help blind people see again. But it's a long-term project because yeah, it's Neuralink is still doing something on that hand, but I think I can do my own stuff and not affect the as in any. Considering they patented a lot of stuff, by the way, but yeah, we are going to help blind people see again sometime in the future. Um, so yeah, I did a lot of things I would told my younger self, but most importantly, don't go into tech, go into entrepreneurship, and then as an entrepreneur, you can endorse tech stuff because, of course, the future of the world
It's it's
is
it's tech.
mainly based on technology. Yeah,
Technology. Yeah.
because in the past 20, 25 years, the technological advancements we've seen worldwide is just so mind blowing. So there is, without a doubt, we know that technology drives the world. It drives a lot of decisions. I mean, there's a lot of politics around that, but yeah, I mean, right now we are in the AI era, and even that is going to grow up to something really beautiful. And later in the future, give or take 10, 15 years, there'll be something new we're talking about now.
That's
So
true.
yeah, it's a constantly shifting gear. And whatever you can do to up on that train, just up on it. But you definitely don't need to be a tech person. I would not advise myself to be a tech person. I'm actually really, hence, actually, back to the first question, it kind of drove my decision to stop being a full-time coder. I only code for the passion and for the fun. If what I'm coding or what I'm working on is
It's
not
not.
interesting to me, I will not do it. You understand? I'll not do it. So I think give it take 2, 3 years, I would actually stop coding full like I'll just be a founder full time. I'll work on my business. I'll create new businesses offline, of course. So yeah, I think my younger self would thank me. But yeah, yeah, this
That
is
that's
this is,
that's
this is just
very
it.
very wonderful because a lot of people would have said, "Oh, I will have still gone through my journey or go through my experience," but you were like,
Oh,
"No, you will have been writing, you will have been writing your whole story." And
yeah,
coming from your personality, I see like you from all those things you want to do, it drives down to who you are and not who everyone expects you to be. You're already a senior software engineer. So people will be like, oh, my younger self, I want to still be a senior software engineer, all the
oh,
recognition and everything. And you're like, no, it drains my
mm,
ideas because I would fuck on and I agree with you on what you said about tech people and business people. Their ideas, when a business person bring an idea to a tech person, it looks vague, it looks impossible. Like, how do you say
yeah,
something like this can be built? But the business person is seeing a problem and is seeing something that can be solved, while the tech
yeah,
person is seeing something that programming or technology can't solve. So they are not seeing other ways of like solving the problem. Oh, okay, can we not use manual input or go through manual process and later find a way to optimize it? So that's there
yeah,
is this. I think coming into tech, there's this limitation it's set for how someone reason. You
of
get to
course,
reason a lot of
of
things
course,
logically, and emotions and all that is out of the picture. You have to be like,
of
I can't
course.
be emotional out here. It's if I'm emotional in all my code, they're going to break. So I have to think logical. I have to put logic into everything I'm doing, and that alone can cause
Yeah,
limitation if there is no balance.
yeah,
So
of course.
my last question, this has really been a very very interesting section, and once again thank you Iman for making our time
You're
to be here.
welcome.
So my last question, I don't know if I'm going to ask another question after this, but it's actually supposed to be my last question. So the last
Okay.
question is going to be your advice for someone coming into being a founder, or somebody that is already have this entrepreneurial mindset and they are still very young. So people are telling them, oh, go into tech is amazing, like tech is some people someone have even told me tech is the blood money. Like I've heard so many I've heard so many I've heard so many things, and I was marveled. I was like, tech is blood money. You say, yeah, tech is blood money. I'm like, I don't know if that perception works with you, fine and good. So a lot of people have various ideas when it comes to tech, and they'd be like, for me to ship in my product as an entrepreneur, I have to work with I have to work with technology. I have to work with people in tech, and working with people in tech is not cheap. It's expensive. So the person might be
Of course.
on this verge of, oh, should I just start building the project myself, start working on it myself, and from there just see how it goes, or should I just go and look for, or should I build myself to become a developer and source for jobs, and there's this, so that's back and forth confliction of ideas of, should I stay as a tech founder, should I stay as a founder, should I stay as an entrepreneur, or should I go into tech? What would be your advice for them?
Okay. This answer I'm about to give is going to be very, very long. Like 10 minutes, just fitting. But
Okay.
I'm going to say this. I think I'm going to be very specific here because when I like to give my answers, I just want to focus on Nigerians mainly. So let me say this: as a young boy, young lady, just coming up Nigeria, maybe you just finished secondary school, or you know, you're done with university, or you're in university and you have some time in your hands, and you're like, oh, let me go into tech. Um, I'm not gonna say don't go into tech, you know. Uh, but tech is not blood money though. Tech is not blood money. Tech can make you very, very rich. If you know what you're doing. Me, I'm not rich, so I'm a very poor tech person, unfortunately. Yeah, no, see, it's a fact. I've tried my hands with Google like 3 times, Microsoft like twice. I even tried getting a job at OpenAI when GPT-3 was still coming up. I was rejected by Claude. I was rejected by Data Fast, and I think which other one? Um, I can't remember. There's this Speechify. Yeah, I was rejected by Speechify as well. Uh, why am I mentioning these big companies? I'm mentioning these big companies because if you're a developer from Nigeria, whether you live in Nigeria or not, and you want to work with big companies, just fucking work with big companies, right? Oh, sorry for that word. Um, so the thing is, you know, you need to you need to really know what you want to do. But the thing is, people are not usually well informed when they start out something. Hence why, some people who start as a developer, and give them 2 years, they will now switch to becoming a designer. And then maybe later they now, oh, I'm going to into motion graphics. I'm not doing product design again.
Yeah.
Or some people who start out as a developer, then over the years they'll be like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Let me become a project manager. Coding is too stressful for me. It's because number one, you don't even know the kind of nature that you have, whether you're someone who's a risk taker, whether you're someone who likes to sit down and work, whether you're a problem solver, whether you're a logical thinker, all these things, um, they determine the kind of person you can be when you come into the tech environment. And there's one thing though, no matter whatever work you're doing, when you decide to switch to becoming a tech person, there's always a space for you. That's just the thing. There's always something that just works in the line of what you already have, because it doesn't take talent to become a techie. You know, it doesn't take talent. I mean, some people are highly talented, and I will give them that. But it doesn't really take talent to say, "Oh, I can do this." It just takes a lot of, don't let me say dedication, because a lot of people can't even dedicate to having a relationship. Chocolate was saying they can dedicate to, you know, no, I mean, for real though, dedication is a big problem. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, it's a big deal among our youth, But this is one thing though. Consistency is even another big problem. I was even talking to someone yesterday,
Hello. Sorry. Hello. Sorry. Can you hear me?
making money as a techie. I want to also be a techie.
Yeah.
And you,
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear you. Please go on. I can hear you.
the way Brother Mike is learning is not how you're gonna learn. Ah, aha. Okay. So, uh you can't compare the way someone is doing to yourself. In fact, a lot of the times, I talk with some of my friends and they're always like, oh, I'm jealous of this person. I mean, we started this shit together. How did they get here that I'm still here? You know, it's the thing is, it's general life stuff. Some people make it, some people don't, some people just stay somewhere in between. It's totally normal. But on the case of, do you necessarily have to be a techie? Is techie where everyone should go? I would say no. I would say no. Because when you go into tech and you turn down, you like specialize in a specific area. That is where you really, really make the big buck. If you are putting yourself out there that people notice you, you understand? I mean, someone just rejected an offer for 1.2 billion from Meta, right? Um, that's an example of you know building yourself, specializing and standing out. You need to stand out to a certain level before someone can look at you and be like, oh, this is money on the table, come work for us. And some people, they are the kind of people that can't work for other people, and that's kind of problematic as well. For me, I always knew from the onset that I just hate work. The first time I did office work, like physical 9 to 5, oh my god, I first 3 months, I hated myself, because it's a constant, oh, do this, do this, do this, do this. I mean, online, you could tell me, oh, do this, and I could sleep for like 10 hours and not do anything, and then wake up and start doing it. But that's a different scenario from actually going to the office. I
Yeah.
mean, it builds character though. Working in physical, it builds certain character in you. There's certain things you have to learn. You have to learn to control your anger. For the most part, people will do things that will kind of annoy you. It's I think it's the same with going to university or college or polytechnic. It builds certain level of character in you. It builds your understanding. It builds the kind of person you can be, or to know yourself to be. But the thing is, it's a no-brainer. You can easily know this thing. From a teacher just telling you, or a lecturer telling you to do something, and like, oh no, I'm not going to do this. It kind of tells you the kind of person you can be. Oh,
That's
am I
true.
cut out for? I mean, learning, tech skill doesn't necessarily mean you have to work with people. You could be a freelancer. You could decide you don't want to take orders from someone. You could only learn tech to work on your own product. I know some guys in San Francisco right now that just got into tech like this year and have built our products this year. Some of them I met through Build Space, but like the idea is they only became a techie to build stuff that they feel will solve people's problems. It's not like they have a big passion for tech. They just have a passion for what they want to build. Um, as a Nigerian, we don't really have the luxury of that because you have to deal with electricity, internet speed, um, access to stable internet. In fact, it's not just the internet speed thing. You could be here 1 minute and it's stable, and the next is not stable. Dealing with things like dynamic IP addresses. Even trying to find a good workspace to work at, it's a thing. And then dealing with things like, oh, I need to get a good laptop, and it's all those sort of things can limit your passion, so to speak. So if you have passion for tech and your pocket does not meet your passion, uh, I mean, it's going to be hard, right? But then some people, actually, a lot of people, don't let me say some people, because since I've been cornering the e-commerce space of Nigeria, I've met with literal hundreds of young entrepreneurs coming up, mostly ladies for some reasons. They're just going into the entrepreneur space, and I think it's good that we're having a lot more people doing entrepreneurial work right now, because the idea is everybody's not cut out for tech, and it's like the true fact. I mean, some people might eventually watch this video and they'll be like, oh, why is this guy spitting on people? But not everyone is cut out for tech, and I think you would know. You understand? um I know someone. I'm not going to tell you who the someone is.
No problem.
That yeah, so this someone reached out to me and was like, I've been shadowing you for years, and I'm interested in this tech thing, but how do I get started? I'm like, okay, you know what? I know you are not cut out for tech, but this is introduction to HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Go and learn it. This person stopped. In fact, I didn't even get to JavaScript, right? And came back like 3 months later. I'm like, how far? How's this going? You're like, oh no, it's not going well. I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't think this is for you. Do you like design? I'm like, I learned graphics design some years back. I'm like, okay, you know what? Go and learn Figma. Send some videos and all. 2 months later, what's up? How is it going? Oh, I don't like this Figma thing. I'm tired of it. I'm like, what's going on? Okay, you know what? You want to try your hands at content writing? Maybe. Are you a good writer? Wow, I can write stuff in school very well. I'm like, oh, okay. Try your hands at content writing. It didn't even take a week. It did not take a week. So, and over the time, this person has tried their hands at multiple different things and eventually found out that, oh, tech is not for me. Guess what? It's been 5 years, still trying to push the person's hand in tech. And I mean, I'm no longer on speaking terms with the person because I realize, people tend to be unserious with themselves, and sometimes. And realizing that I'm like, oh, you just want to waste your own time. You really don't know what you want. And if you don't really know what you want, I can't assist you in any way. You know, the idea is some people just feel like they don't have talent, and it's understandable. Not everybody has talent. God did not create everyone equally. But the one thing I know is there is always something out there that works for you, and most likely it's not tech. So whoever is advising our youths that they should start going into tech, this not everybody can do tech. So people can become entrepreneurs, which of course is, I think, even way harder than going into tech because this one you lose a lot of money, right? When you go into entrepreneurship. There are many other things, that you can do. And I think a lot of techies are now going back to traditional industries now because the layoff is just too much. I
Yeah.
have experienced layoff twice, by the way. Um, in my 8 plus 9 years of experience, I've experienced. I was a victim of layoffs twice, two different companies. So, but the thing was, I had a business to fall back on, so I didn't really care about the whole thing. But yeah, the general advice is just do you, and you know you can always improve later on. So I think again, I already said my answer to that question was going to be very long.
Very long.
Apologies,
No, no.
but yeah, yeah,
It was
that's it.
actually it was worth it. So it doesn't matter as long as someone would learn from it. That's the end goal. So what you said is I picked a lot of things from it. The first one is a lot of people need to first of all find who they are before they decide on their career path, because what is working for A would definitely will work for B. Because someone
Doesn't
there
work
was
for me.
telling me they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I would love to learn Elixir, and I'm like, okay, it's a new programming
Mhm.
language, the community is small and everything. That okay, I have a YouTube channel I started because the community is small for Elixir developers. Why don't you check it out? And he said, oh, okay, instead of me
Mm,
checking it out, since I already know you, can you just give me a roadmap and so many code snippets, everything I need? And I'm like,
mm,
I was like, I didn't learn that way. I'm so sorry. I don't know how
of
to do
course,
handoff. I don't know how to spoon feed you, because if I spoon feed you, you go nowhere. You would stay where you
of
are,
course.
and for you always rely on me, and it's going to bother me that I'm going to block you, and it's going to annoy
Mhm.
you, because at that point in time you'll be like, oh, but she said she was going to be helpful. So I said, check the YouTube channel. If you have questions, if you have anything, you can reach out to
You
me.
can reach
But for
out.
me to give you a whole full, I don't even have it. So how do I give you what I don't have? Because I don't plan on
Yeah,
I don't plan on mentoring someone in that kind of aspect. And
no, of course.
immediately I just noticed that I was not even able to send any message again. So I know, oh, I was being probably being blocked or being ignored totally by this person. And it got me to understand that a lot of youth coming into tech, or a lot of people coming into tech, they have this there's this idea that, oh, when I come into tech, I learn, I get a job. And I have been trying my best to correct that perception when I hear people say, oh, it's not easy to get a job in
Mm,
tech. To
of
sustain a
course,
job
of
is
course.
not even easy. To get a job is not easy. To get a worth paying job is even more difficult. You get a job, you can get a job of 30K. They can tell you to 30K to build a website. And
Yeah,
you start thinking, is my worth 30K? Like
yeah,
all the years of knowledge I
mhm,
have, is it 30,000 naira? So
yeah,
if you really are very passionate about tech, you might get to a point you will not even care about how much you get paid for that project. You just want to see the project
yeah,
come to life. You just want to put your blood and everything into that project. So when you get to that aspect, you know, oh, this is for me. So I think that your answer is very very rich for people to start learning to stand out at what they do. So for you to stand out what you do, it has to resonate with you. So try to find something that resonates with you, and try to now build yourself
yeah,
to stand out at that thing. You don't have to be like everybody else. If there's a room
Yeah,
of,
of course.
if you have a room of 50 product manager, you don't have to be the 51 product manager.
Yeah,
You can be
definitely.
a marketer, because currently right now a lot of marketers are even earning higher than
Of
developers.
course.
They
Yeah.
are earning higher than developer. A lot of business analysts are earning 2 or 3 times higher than the senior developer in that team. So if you
Yeah.
think, oh, you're going in for the money, maybe you should check another career that is better than is going to
Yeah.
pay you higher than being a tech person and will still
Yeah,
do
of
your
course.
need. And so thank you so much, Imam, for having you here. It has been a very rich section, and truly I would say the wait was worth it, because I was wondering, like, is Imam going to ever be free? Like, I don't think he's going to be free anytime soon. So when you reach out to me, I was amazed. I'm like, oh, thank you, because I know how busy a developer schedule can be. Like, then now combining with you being a founder, that's totally
Yeah.
that's twice as much workload as one that you do, and you're not even staying in one place. Today, yeah. I think to track you down is the hardest that anybody can do. To track you down is, because you're
Yeah,
going to be like,
of
I'm
course.
in Nigeria today, and tomorrow you are out of the country, and we're like, okay, don't worry, anytime we see you again. So thank you once again for even
Oh,
coming
okay.
to this section, and it has been a very educative and enriching section. So thank you so much.